Google it yourself. Google it yourself. Google it yourself. Penis. Google it yourself. Penis. Penis. Are you a pervert or something? Okay. The whales have a 15-foot penis.
Hold on a sec. I just want
National Pornographic says it.
I'm sorry, Ken. You cut out there. They have a 15 what?
The whales have a 15-foot penis. I didn't cut out. You heard me. Google it yourself. Google it yourself. The whales have a 15-foot penis.
I'm sorry, Ken. You cut out there. They have a 15 what?
Are you a pervert or something? Okay. The whales have a 15-foot penis.
Hold on a sec. I just
National Pornographic says it.
I'm sorry, Ken. You cut out there. They have a 15 what?
The whales have a 15-foot penis. I didn't cut out. You heard me. Google it yourself. The whales have a 15-foot penis.
I'm sorry, Ken. You cut out there. They have a 15 what?
Are you a pervert or something? Okay. The whales have a 15-foot penis.
Hold on a sec. I just
National Pornographic says it.
I'm sorry, Ken. You cut out there. They have a 15 what?
The whales have a 15-foot penis. I didn't cut out. You heard me. Google it yourself. The whales have a 15-foot penis.
I'm sorry, Ken. You cut out there. They have a 15
Are
what?
you a pervert or something? Okay. The whales have a 15-foot penis.
What's up, heathens? How ya doing? Tonight we're going to be going over a brand new argument for the existence of God. Maybe. I mean, come on, we got to take this with a grain of salt. We've all heard the exact same arguments time and time again. They're always just repackaged. So maybe, just maybe, we actually do have some kind of new philosophical or scientific argument. I doubt scientific, but maybe we've got a new one. So we're going to be getting into that tonight, as well as our usual things like Today I Learned, Out of Context Comics, and shitty-ass science with Bro Cephas. So, if you guys are ready to get started, I will see you after the intro. But before we get into the video tonight, we have Today I Learned! And it's gonna play multiple times. There. All right. So first up on Today I Learned, a law requiring mandatory measles vaccinations for kindergartners, for kindergartens apparently, and schools came into force on Sunday in Germany, which this was posted a while back, I think back in like February. Parents can be fined thousands of euros if they violate the law. I think that this is excellent, especially considering the pandemic that we got going on right now. Which Monday's video, just a little bit of a spoiler here, Monday's video, we've got an anti-vaxxer that is making a lot of claims that that I wanted to sort of spread, good news, not good news, but good information about vaccines. So I'm using this particular person as a way to do that. But I think that, having people or making it mandatory for vaccinations is a good thing. It builds herd immunity and it allows us to fight off these kind of pandemics like what we're seeing now. Of course, we don't have vaccines for the COVID-19 that's going around right now. That's one of the reasons why it's so bad, plus the mortality rate for specific age groups and stuff like that. But for normal, all the diseases that we've come into contact with before, vaccines prevent those diseases from killing us off. So anyways, I think that's a good thing. Next on Today I Learned, that scientists found that moth fuzz absorbs, on average, 67% of incoming sound energy, a much better performance than commercially available sound insulation of similar structure and thickness. So, what? No, honey, don't kill all the moths. She's wanting to kill all the moths here. If we kill off all the moths, what are the spiders going to eat?
I don't know. Other shit, wasps.
Other shit, wasps. Fuck, they can eat all the wasps they want if they can get past those fucking stingers. Anyways, so I mean, if you're a budget person, just cultivate you a whole bunch of moths, get their fuzz, and then use that as insulation, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, just a little bit of information in case you ever needed an icebreaker. It's like, hey, y'all know what? Moth fuzz is very useful. It will dampen your screams.
Somebody
What?
used to be friends with called them nighttime butterflies. Nope.
Nighttime butterflies? You know, that one should, or that particular Today I Learned should have had that fucking moth that was like, did you say a light? And then finally on Today I Learned that Agatha Christie essentially invented the standard modern crime fiction formula that most TV shows follow. A murder is committed. Multiple suspects, all concealing secrets. The detective gradually uncovers the secrets, discovering the most shocking twist towards the end and solving the crime. Thank you, Agatha Christie, for giving us basically the plot of every murder mystery TV show, movie, everything like that. They just copied you. Everything's copied off of shit that we've done in the past. So, anyways. Well, that's it for the Today I Learned section. But you know what we have now? Yes! Out of context. This is Casey's favorite song, by the way. Out of context comics! We're not gonna know what the fuck is going on. Except for today, we know exactly what's fucking going on. Now, a little, well, yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. You don't really need context for this. So, I saved this particular image down at the end of February. So, right before March hit and all of this pandemic stuff started spreading like a wildfire. It was already spreading like a wildfire. It just hadn't gotten here yet as bad as it has gotten, you know, in other places. But so this was made well before the end of February. But this is essentially the situation at the end of February with the coronavirus versus the U.S. Well, I mean, I feel like Donald Trump should have just gotten up on the podium and been like, you know what? Everybody shove lavender up your ass. Because well, the lavender essential oil, not just lavender feathers, or not feathers, flower, petals, the petals up your ass. I feel like if he had said that, it would have been the exact same. But this pretty much emboldens the entire U.S. Ideas around the coronavirus prior to this pandemic. And even right now, you have people that are saying that. I mean, just this past week, you had Iranian clerics saying that you needed to shove essential oils up your asshole in order to fight the coronavirus. So this really isn't all that far off.
That's true, they did say that.
They did say that. Yes, we have verified proof of that shit. We have a super chat from Drew's Book Reviews saying, coming from your resident libertarian who does not trust the government, please, people, take COVID seriously, especially if you work in healthcare. I agree, especially if you work in healthcare. I would be surprised to find someone that works in healthcare, which I'm sure there are out there. I'm just saying that if I heard somebody that was in healthcare and they weren't taking COVID seriously, that would surprise me. Anyways, so that's it for that. Oh, shit. Y'all know what time it is? Shitty ass science. We're gonna answer some science shit really wrong. Shitty ass science. We're gonna... Oh, what's up, heathens? How y'all doing? We got some shitty ass science. Well, it's not really science today. It's more of an Ask Bro Cephas kind of time. I've moved past the sciences. I feel like I've learned all of the quantum shit that I can learn. And so now I'm going to teach y'all or I'm just going to give y'all advice. I'm not really going to teach y'all shit. So this person, I found an anti-vax picture on my son's phone. I smashed his phone and locked him in his room. Did I go too far? This is a very difficult question here. Because on the one hand, I don't know what you're talking about. Do you mean anti-vax is in like anti-vax? Or like anti-vax is in like that essential oil shit that GE just showed? Because if it's the essential oil shit that GE just showed, or some kind of thing about vaccines containing thimerosal that has mercury in it, then yeah, definitely you should have done something. Maybe not locked him in his fucking room like a goddamn savage, but, you know, maybe you could sit his ass down, educate him, tell him how dumb as fuck he is because he's pushing anti-vax shit all over the place. Now, if he's a pro-vax kid sharing anti-vax stuff, then maybe you should listen to the little fuck. In either case, I do think you went too far there, dipshit. And maybe, just maybe, you should try teaching your kid a little something instead of being an abusive asshole. You know, I rarely come out on the side, the good side of these things, but I feel like this right here needs to be said to a lot of people right now. Sit down, talk to people, tell them with intelligent words how dumb as fuck they are being. Anyways, don't lock your fucking kids in the room and take his phone, smash his phone, because then you're just going to have to buy his phone, buy another phone for him. You know that little shit doesn't work. No little shits work right now. They're just going to school, having a good time, and bumming money off of their parents. Oh shit, that's right, they're not even going to school now. They're bumming out at home, not going to school, being lazy. Oh yeah, they're going to spring break and spreading the COVID everywhere. Goddamn idiots. I love you, son. He knows I love him. Alright, that's it for me. GE's got to talk to some dipshit or review some dipshit. Anyways, I'll see y'all heathens later. Y'all go to hell and suck Jesus' dick or something. Bye. You gotta love the seamless transition that I have. I agree with Bro Cephas there. You went too far, man. Sit down and talk to him. Tell him intelligently how much of a dipshit he is. Anyways, y'all ready to get to the response? Yay! Everybody clapped when I did. I'm thinking this because I'm sure everybody did. Yep. Thank you, honey. All right. So this is Cornelius. Cornelius has over 10,000 subscribers here on YouTube. I don't know why. For one thing, he's a car theist, apparently. He loves to do shit just in his car. I rarely do shit in my car. Mama Atheist says, you just explained my teenage son. So Cornelius thinks that he has like a good argument for God's existence. And I don't think that he does. And I want to get y'all's input on it because to me, this just seemed like a really stupid repackaged argument, but we'll see what he's got. Oh, gotta get my earbuds in. Oh, shit, y'all can't hear this motherfucker.
All right, everybody out there, good morning, good morning. Here is Cornelius Jones, and I am coming to you guys today with a video. And with this video, not going to be a long video at all, but I do want to have a topical discussion with those who are atheists and for everyone out there who does not believe that any God exists or does not believe that God exists. I have a very direct question, and this is an argument that no atheist has ever heard before.
Oh, well, my butthole is puckered there, Cornelius. I can't wait for you to get to the fucking point. I do want to give a really big shout out to Velocilobster in the chat there, as well as the Atheist Asshole Show. I know them from TikTok, where I've been putting a lot of things on TikTok lately, and that's where I've gotten a lot of dumbass Christians at. So if you guys want to go subscribe to them or check them out, definitely check them out. But anyways, all right, Cornelius, let's get to the point.
You know, if you look at YouTube, you'll find, there's plenty of discussions, debates surrounding this question concerning the existence of God. And one of the main things one of the topics regarding this situation is talking about the evidence, right? Many atheists, well, all atheists, they do not believe that there is a sufficient amount of evidence, or any evidence at all for that matter, that supports the existence of God.
Yes, I would say this is true. I don't feel like the current evidence that's been presented by theists actually support their conclusion that God exists. So I'm glad that we're starting off on a really good foot here, in that he's not trying to misrepresent the atheist position in general, that he agrees that, or at least not agrees, but he understands that we're just simply not convinced by this evidence, and we don't think that it's substantial enough to prove that a God exists.
Christians, on the contrary, they do believe that there's evidence that supports the existence of God. There are scientists out there who are Christians who have studied that evidence. However, atheists would disagree. Okay, so there's a big debate going back and forth about whether or not there's sufficient evidence and all of that. Well, I'd like to further the discussion by even asking this question. When it comes to creation, do you even need evidence? Do you need evidence to know that whether or not something was created?
Yes, you do need evidence, and the evidence just could be an unnatural arrangement, like, of matter. Like, for instance, an unnatural arrangement. These eyeglasses right here that I wear on occasion, well, most of the time, just not on camera. I hate the reflection and shit that goes on. But like this, I would say, is an unnatural arrangement of matter, right? Pretty much anything that is actually designed and man-made is an unnatural arrangement of matter. And so I would think that you would need some kind of evidence to suggest that something was designed. So yes, you definitely need evidence.
And of course, atheists will say, absolutely, it is foolish to believe in the existence of something blindly without having evidence, or without looking into the evidence first. Well, I would like to ask a very, very simple question, because I would like, with this video, my intention is to challenge the idea that you need evidence to believe in something. Okay?
You're going to challenge the idea that you need evidence in order to believe in something. I mean, I don't think that it ultimately prevents somebody from believing in something if they don't have evidence. You got gullible motherfuckers out there all the time. I mean, you're a pretty good example of one of the gullible motherfuckers, in my opinion. I don't think everybody needs evidence in order to believe in something, but I think that it's a good idea to have evidence for something, because then you can support the claim that you're making. That's the entire point, that you can be assured outside of your own, like, ideas and beliefs that this thing is actually real.
That's what I want to challenge. I want to challenge the idea, do you really need evidence, or is it possible to believe or know, and specifically know, that something was created without looking at the evidence first?
I think that you can claim to know, but whether or not you actually know, I don't really think that you can without any kind of indication that it was. Because then, I mean, you could just go around claiming that you know a whole bunch of shit. Like, I know aliens love to probe humans in the asshole. Not because that I've got evidence for it or anything, but because I know that it's that way. I mean, you definitely need evidence to suggest that you know something. Like, to say that you know it means that you have some kind of knowledge about something. And I mean, if you just believe it without any kind of knowledge, you can't really know something.
Okay. So can you know it first and then look at the evidence? Is that possible? Is that reasonable? Well, I'd like to show you an argument with this question, with this illustration. Consider this. In our lifetime, if you were born in the, mid 80s, 90s, maybe at the latest, I'm 40 years old. So if you're 40 or older, then 100% sure, or maybe a little younger, you remember a time on our planet where there was no internet. The internet is one of the most life-changing inventions that totally revolutionized the way we live as human beings on this planet.
Yeah, and I mean, I do agree with that. The internet was a very big achievement. I mean, it provides you information that you can get at the touch of a finger. And really, there's no reason for people to not understand like scientific ideas or theories or anything really when you just can Google shit and look it up and then read it. I get that maybe you don't have the comprehension skills that it takes to understand a scientific theory, but I mean, that's why you ask questions of people that do understand it, so that you can understand it better. And I think that any theist that's out there, I would hope that they would ask questions, because of the fact that we have the internet, you have more access to be able to understand these complex ideas. But for some reason, these people just don't want to.
And you all know that. But there was a time where the internet did not exist. There was a time where you had no prior knowledge. You had no prior experience with the internet. Okay? So if you are an atheist, I want you to go back to that time, if you can, to the very first time you ever used the internet.
Well, so, yeah, people are pointing out in the chat right now that the internet actually came online in the 1960s. And that's true, it did. I guess the way that I took his statement was like publicly accessible internet, to where, people were able to actually get on the internet. And I really don't think that you got to be 40 years old. I mean, I'm 35 and I remember a time when the internet wasn't really publicly accessible. But I mean, even then, prior to that, you did have internet services, that were accessible to certain portions of the population. But I guess I just took it as it becoming an essential part of our daily lives, something that was easily accessible to everybody, whether it be at school or on your own personal computer. But in any case, yeah. So I mean, he's not talking about like back then, but he is talking about publicly accessible internet access.
If you can remember that far. Okay. Now, you did not have prior knowledge about the internet the first time you used it.
Okay.
You did not have any prior anything. Never experienced the internet before. Okay. However, from the first moment you used the internet, you knew,
oh, fuck, the aliens are coming. They're coming to get us. I'm having flashbacks. Don't put that in my ass. Don't put it in my ass.
that the internet was the product of a mind.
Well, okay, so this would be the whole unnatural arrangement of matter, which electrons aren't exactly, I don't know if those would be classified as matter, but in any case, the internet is kind of an ambiguous type of term, right? I'm not exactly sure what he's talking about here when he says the internet. Do you mean the structure of the internet, like as we know it to be now? Like you log on to a web browser and then a web page pulls up? Like, of course we knew that was man-made. Of course we knew that was designed, implemented, and constructed by humans. But that's because it's an unnatural arrangement of matter. this all goes back to the what's called teleological argument, or the argument from design. Basically, where he's going to go with this is that it looks designed and other things look designed, therefore everything was designed, right? But the problem is that we don't have any natural processes that could explain the internet. All right. The internet was definitely man-made, which is different than like a fucking cow or your dog or your asshole cat. Like those things are different, right? We have natural explanations for biological entities in this world. We have natural explanations for how mountains form. We have natural explanations for all of these things. We don't have a natural explanation for the internet or any of the protocols that go into the internet or any of the processes that go into computers and the internet. Like, we don't have natural explanations for that don't require human interference. So that's what makes it different.
You knew that its creation was, well, you knew it was a creation is basically what I'm trying to say. Now, is there sufficient evidence that the internet had a creator?
Yes, there is. It's obvious that it was created, because it's an unnatural arrangement of matter. I love this particular screen cap right here. I feel like I should click.
Absolutely. I mean, we don't even have to get into that. But the point is, even though yes, there was sufficient evidence, but did you need the evidence to know the internet had a creator?
Well, the evidence is kind of right in your face, right? I mean, I don't see how you can get around the, pattern of unnatural arrangements of matter, right? Like, you look at something and it fits a certain pattern. It looks structured. It looks like it was designed by something. But see, here's the thing. If we have a natural explanation that can account for it, then it's not designed. But since there's no natural explanations for the internet or computers or anything like that, then it's obviously designed. So yes, you still need evidence to logic your way into figuring out whether or not something is designed. You don't just come right out the door and it's like, well, oh shit, that definitely looks designed right there. That one definitely has a creator behind it. Look at that motherfucking mouth right there. Oh my God. Holy shit. Oh yeah, definitely a pissed off ex-wife definitely did that one.
If I asked you right now, who created the internet? Who initially created the internet? I'm willing to bet that most of you would not be able to tell me.
Well, I don't understand why that has anything to do with it. Let's see, who created the internet? See, this is what I'm telling. I'm using the internet. Huh? Al Gore. Actually, the inventors are listed as Robert E. Kahn and Vint Cerf. C-E-R-F.
I remember it's Al Gore said it was him.
Oh yeah, Al Gore definitely took that. But anyways, it originally started out as ARPANET, and it was mainly used, if I'm correct, which I probably should have looked this shit up beforehand, but hindsight's 2020. But it was mainly used for like government and universities. Maybe it first started out as government, and then it eventually, let's see. The first workable prototype of the internet came in the late 1960s with the creation of ARPANET, or the Advanced Research Projects Agency Network, originally funded by the U.S. Defense Department. ARPANET used packet switching to allow multiple computers to communicate on a single network. So yeah, it was originally used for government purposes as well as university purposes, and that's what it was originally used as. Yeah, Mama Atheist said Al Gore. Yeah, if you look it up, Al Gore claimed to have invented the internet. It was pretty ridiculous at the time, even now. But anyways, so ARPANET was the original one. But see, it doesn't matter if I know who created the internet or how the internet came to be. The fact of the matter is that we can recognize unnatural, unnatural arrangements of matter. But that's our pattern-seeking nature, and that's why for some people it's so hard not to get past the look of design, like of the Earth and everything. It's not designed. When you take a deeper look at the Earth, it's definitely not designed. It came about by natural processes, and we have natural processes to explain them. But the fact is that people are pattern seeking, like our brains are pattern seeking, and so they see patterns in, or they see what seems to them as unnatural arrangements, when in actuality they are natural arrangements.
Now, you could easily figure that out. You could do some research. But if you're honest, when you first used the internet, you did not do an extensive research or study on who created it.
Don't need to. There's no point in doing deep research into who created the internet in order to use the internet.
All you knew inside your heart, all you knew in your mind was that it was created by someone. But you may not have known who.
Well, right, but I would say that that's just like the pattern-seeking nature of our minds. We see this unnatural pattern and we automatically associate that with previous experiences of things that are made, like a tricycle. Tricycle, we have been told, has been made by us. We don't have any natural processes that explain it. Therefore, it was definitely man-made, at least as far as we can tell. Now, we have definite proof that it was man-made, and there definitely are not any natural processes that explain how that particular mechanical thing came into being. So all of the evidence points towards it being man-made. But like, let's take a flower, for instance. We have natural processes that explain why a flower looks the way that it does, or that grows where it does, or operates in the fashion that it does. We have natural processes to explain this, so therefore we don't automatically assume a creator is needed. Just because you think that something is designed does not necessarily mean that it is designed. That's why evidence is needed.
Now, you can't say that you had prior knowledge that helped you understand that the internet was created, because the first time you used it, you had no prior knowledge.
I disagree. You did have prior knowledge, because your prior experiences with these unnatural arrangements of matter indicates that it was most likely made by a person or made by humans, right? That would be our prior experiences informing our current experience. So you saying you don't have evidence because you've never used it before, that's just a bullshit argument, because you definitely have had experiences in the past that would indicate that it definitely was designed by a person. We got a super chat from Welder Smurf saying Al Gore did not invent the internet. He wrote the bill that allowed for the creation of the public access of the internet. Oh, that's good information. So true, I know. I wasn't trying to suggest that Al Gore did invent the internet, but the claim that I know I've heard in the past is that he invented the internet. But that's interesting. I'm going to have to look more into that, because I'm sure that he did have something to do with the internet.
And in your lifetime, there was a time where the internet did not exist. So you can't say prior knowledge.
Yes, I can, because your prior experiences and all that kind of shit.
Prior knowledge does not count in this situation because you had none.
Still hard disagree here, bud.
Yet, you knew that the internet had a creator.
Well, yes, but again, due to our prior experiences.
My question is, why?
Because I've already explained it. Never mind.
Why did you know that? Before you looked at any evidence, before you did any research on who the creator was, without any prior knowledge with this thing or any prior experience, you automatically knew that this invention had a creator.
Well, yes, but I would also say that this is what really factors into creationists that use the teleological argument, is because our prior experiences informing us about unnatural arrangements of matter, our prior experiences informing us about that as being, created by somebody or something, has seemed to overtake the fact that you need evidence to support the idea that it was created, right? Because not everything that looks designed is designed. And so you would need more evidence to say that it definitely was designed. And I think that the arrangement of the matter, like the fact that it's inorganic stuff, that it's precious metals, it's got silicon mixed in with gold and all of these other precious metals that we use for our circuit boards, like the screen, the CRT displays that were originally around, right? All of those things combined would seem to indicate that it definitely was designed. And I think that all of that is definitely evidence that you consider when you decide whether or not you think that it was designed by a person, right? But the problem is that he tries to transfer it to organic things like animals and even inorganic things like planets and shit. See, this is the huge disconnect that creationists have created. That they bridge this gap unnecessarily without any kind of evidence to bridge this gap. And this is a perfect example of how things that may look designed are not necessarily designed, and therefore you need evidence to suggest that they are designed.
You knew that it was the product of a mind, as opposed to something similar to, like, maybe comparable to natural selection, where somehow, electrons, molecules just happen to form together in some amazing way, appropriately, and the internet formed.
No, that would not be natural. So, do you know what natural selection is? So I always love explaining natural selection because it seems like a lot of creationists, they use evolution and natural selection interchangeably when they're really separate things, right? So imagine a leaf with like 4 bugs on it. And one of the bugs is a light green, another bug is a dark green, and then you got one bug that's blue and one bug that's red. The 2 bugs that are red and blue that don't blend in are eaten, and the other bugs survive, and they pass on their traits, and so their lineages have this green color, and eventually this, red and blue colors are weeded out, and that is how a new subspecies or a species of this bug emerges. And that's natural selection. It's a process that happens in nature. What you just described is not natural selection.
All by itself. That's not the case with the internet.
Well, yes, but I would say that it is the case with the planet, the universe in general, animals on this planet, organisms in general on this planet.
Now, of course, again, we know there is evidence for the internet. It doesn't matter. My point is not that whether or not there's evidence for the internet. My point is, you did not need the evidence to know the internet had a creator.
Well, I mean, the evidence was already inherent to your own experience. This is something that's kind of common in some sci-fi stuff. Like, if you remember, I haven't read the book, but Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. In the movie, the alien, when he first comes to Earth, he thinks that the cars were the dominant creatures on the Earth. And so this is an instance of your prior experience informing you on, what you might think is designed or created or just naturally occurring, right? The evidence is inherent to your own experience. And I think that that's what he doesn't understand here. We have Mr. Bear saying, you've tackled this new argument very well, sir. Thank you, Mr. Bear. I appreciate it.
The first time you used it, from that instant, you knew in your heart some person created it. It is the product of a mind. Now, if you tell me that the reason why you know the internet has a creator is because of evidence, you're not being honest. You're not being honest. You did not do an extensive research on who created the internet the first time you used it. And if you did, okay, well, you're one of the few. Okay? First time you used the internet, you used it. And you knew it was the product of a mind. You knew that innately in your heart. You knew.
Why does he think that he knows me better than I know myself? Like, I really hate it when people try to act like they know me better than I know myself. You don't know me.
Knew that. Again, the question's why. So you see, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are atheists, I am showing you one example that I don't think you can deny.
Oh, shit. But I fucking denied it this entire time there, Cornelius.
You used something. You had experience with something that before that day you had no prior understanding or knowledge, and you knew it had a creator without looking at the evidence, before you ever looked at any evidence.
We got a super chat from Uhan Rodriguez saying, I'm totally late. Hashtag BroCephas2020. Love you all. Wash your damn hands. Thank you, Uhan.
My question, again, is why? Why were you able to know that? Why? That's what I'd like you to answer.
Okay, well, already answered. Can we, I don't know, do you got another point to make? You got anything else to say? You still got 2.5 minutes, or more than 2.5 minutes left. It's about 3 minutes. You got about 3 minutes left. What else you got to fucking say?
Why do you think you were able to know or reason in your heart that someone created the internet before you looked at any evidence? That's the question. Okay. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay.
If you would like to have discussions back and forth with me on this topic, I would love and appreciate what you have to say. We'll go back and forth a little bit. I would really be curious to know your thoughts on this. How is it that you're able to believe that something had a creator when you had no prior experience with it and you did not look at any evidence? The evidence was real, but you didn't look at it.
Okay, so I feel like the point that he's trying to get to with this entire video, that apparently he's just stuck on repeat right now. He's like a broken record. I don't know why. But I feel like the point that he's getting to here is that we all can recognize things that are designed by a creator. Therefore, if we see something in nature that looks designed by a creator, therefore it was designed by a creator. We don't need evidence to know that it was designed by a creator. And the problem with this is that it neglects the fact that not everything that looks designed is designed. And creationists ignore this particular point all of the time. But sometimes you'll get creationists or Christians in general that will move the goalposts and push God further into the gaps of our knowledge. Like, well, God's the one that created the natural order of the universe, so therefore God still created it, motherfucker. What you got to say about that? Motherfucker. I didn't really spit. It's fine. There's nothing in the floor. Anyways. So I don't know. I'm going to let it play out. I don't think that he says anything else that's dumb as shit, but we'll see.
You didn't need it. Why? That's my question. That's my argument. I don't think you need evidence to look at something, experience something, and know innately in your heart that it is the product of an intelligent mind. Now, who the creator was is irrelevant. We're not going to get into that. You know, not getting into that.
You see, and I think that the creator that you're talking about is very relevant because everybody has a different version of their creator. And to suggest that nature points to your particular version of God seems to be a really big stretch, that you don't have actual evidence to substantiate that claim. So I find that particular question is a lot more interesting than your fucking internet facepalm worthy goddamn cancerous argument.
First step. Is there a creator for the internet? Of course it was.
I like how he stopped right there. He's like, is there a creator of the internet?
You knew it. Didn't need evidence for that. So if you didn't need evidence for the computer, does that mean that can you know that something has a creator before you look at evidence? Well, if you didn't need evidence for the computer, I think the answer is yes. You don't need evidence to know innately in your heart that something is a creation. Again, let's stick on the internet. Why? Why did you know that? How? How did you know the internet was a product of a mind before you looked at evidence? That's my question. All right, so type your questions. Let's have a discussion. This is Cornelius Jones. I look forward to speaking with some of you very soon. I'm signing off. You have a great day.
I gotta try to get this guy on here sometime because he cannot seriously just be a broken record all the fucking time. I mean, he spent this last 3 minutes just repeating the exact same shit the entire time that he had been talking about the entire time. So, yeah, I don't know. I need to see if I can get this guy like on a live stream or something like that. That would be really cool. Lisa for Truth is heading out. See you later, Lisa. Let me get back to the main cam here. All right, well, heathens, I really appreciate you guys joining me tonight. I would really love to hear what you guys think about this argument. Do you think that it's a good way to put the teleological argument, or it's a good lead into the teleological argument, or the argument from design? I'd really love to hear your thoughts on this particular video. Let me know down in the comments below. While you're down there, why don't you smash that like button and subscribe if you like this kind of Friday live stream. And I guess I will see you heathens later. Don't forget to stand up, use your voice, and all that kind of good shit. Bye, heathens. Unless you're staying for the Skeptic Mafia. JMK wants the link. Yeah, I'll have to see if I can get that in there, because I've actually got the Skeptic Mafia stuff up here. Yep, I know. Hold on. I'm gonna get it. Yeah, oh shit. Quentin beat me to it. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the description though, because I'll fucking forget later. Okay, so there, updated. All right, if you want the link, you can refresh the page and you can get to the link. We got some super chats from Michael W. Roble, who says that the internet was created by God to show us how many stupid people he created. I'd believe that. Uhan Roderick, does this make Bill Gates God? I mean, was he not already God? Kind of seems like he's got more money than God. Anyways. So, we're about to head into the Skeptic Mafia comments. If you guys don't know, the Skeptic Mafia can leave comments on the video that we are going to be reviewing on the Friday night streams. Skeptic Mafia, you could join the Skeptic Mafia by either going to joinskepticmafia.com or smashing that join link that's on the view page right now. There's multiple tiers that you can join in if you want to, although right now you may not. You may want to hold off or something until the world ends or something. I don't know. But in any case, we're going to go into the Skeptic Mafia comments because our Skeptic Mafia is very important to us and I want to hear what you guys have to say. So we are going to go and look at y'all's comments. All right. So first up, we got Ardo who says, I just wanted to take the time to tell everyone that I appreciate you. Times are a bit hard and weird right now, but we will make it out together. Who knows? Maybe we will come out stronger. Stay safe and wash your hands. That should be the theme for tonight. Hashtag wash your damn hands. Quentin Van Boeven. Don't know if I'll have time to preview, so we're just going to guess it was all arguments that we've heard before. And yeah, just insert a generic shilling here. Hey, if you guys didn't know, the Skeptic Mafia has a special podcast that posts every Tuesday. And we go over the most recent articles. This past week, we talked about the coronavirus. Or coronavirus. I don't know why I keep mispronouncing that shit. That's what I do. Yes, thank you, honey. I mispronounce easy to pronounce things. Jonathan Nickel. This is just a watchmaker repackaged. We know how the internet came about. It grew from the old ARPANET and was truly born when two men, Robert Kahn and Vint Cerf, developed the TCP/IP protocol. After all, the internet is nothing more than a worldwide computer network. True. Even as a young child getting my first computer, I knew it was a man-made object. It was obvious to anyone with a brain that the internet was created by humans. Listening to guys like this makes me wonder if we should have bothered. But then I recall that I see G and KC via the internet, so it's not all bad. Accurate. As for whether we need evidence before we can know something, yes, we do. In order to know a thing, you need to be aware not only that it is true, you need to know why it is true. You need to be able to demonstrate the truthfulness of your claim, and that requires evidence. You can't show it, then you don't know it. I agree. This is very good, Jonathan. I know I've heard that if you can't show it, you don't know it before, and I think that's a pretty good mantra, which, you know, got evidence. This is a perfect shirt to wear for tonight, actually. I didn't even know that. Huh? We got a new member? Who the fuck is a new member? Cernian became a member? Holy fuck! Welcome, you goddamn shill! Thank you so much for becoming a Mafia member. We post on Tuesdays and the checks are always in the mail, just in case you were wondering. For the Skeptic Mafia. Anyways, Juke Kane, 726. No, we don't need evidence of creation because that wasn't the question. Show evidence of your God first. To be able to perceive something is to know it. This is the only way we know anything. Take away all of our senses. How do you know anything exists right now? You can't touch, hear, smell, see, hear, or even taste it. Hear was in there twice because you got 2 ears, by the way. You might be able to imagine it, but that doesn't make it real. That's like saying love is a physical object. We knew computers were made by humans. We knew the lines they were connected to were made by humans. We knew humans put all of the things that make it work there. It stands to reason that humans made the internet. That is not an assumption, it's a deduction. And I think even a child can make that conclusion. Yeah, so I really should have used that particular word, that it's a deduction. You were able to deduce that it was man-made because of your prior experience with those particular things. So, yes, very good, Jukane. Thank you so much for putting that better than I could have. Yes, no one would be able to answer that because no one person made the internet. It was the merging of ideas of lots of people based on already existing principles. Bullshit. I think you're the one that doesn't remember the time before the internet because I am sure that encyclopedias and other reference materials were already telling the tale at the time. Maybe your school didn't have anything that was set up to date. If they didn't have it, I would be sure a library would have it. Yeah. Artificial things have nothing to do with natural selection. And that is not how natural selection works either. I'm glad I'm not the only one that noticed that. Thank you for showing how disingenuous you are by directly saying you don't care who God is. Also, I have heard this argument before. It's been done a zillion times, even though it does not address God and is a complete misrepresentation of how we know things. Thank you, Jude Kane. I appreciate you, man. Uhan Roderick. How is it that I'm able to know this without doing research into the internet? Well, Let's start with the device I'm accessing this internet on. It was manufactured in a plant in China by people. It sends requests and commands to other devices that were manufactured via a system of electronic signals developed for the purpose of communication between those devices. So while I may not know the name of the persons who literally developed these things, I do have evidence that they are man-made. And I didn't even need to go out and look for it. Now, please show me a similar example for God. I'll wait. Sydney says, ding! Anyway, mafiosos, make sure you're hitting that thumbs up, subscribing if you haven't already, and tickle that little bell. If you want to leave comments like this, have access to the special Skeptic Mafia only podcast, then hit that join button and team up with the coolest kids on the internet, which now includes Cernian. And two more? Holy fuck, when did that happen? Just a minute ago, holy shit. Oh, goddamn, we got Chrismer and we've got Welder Smurf. Jesus Christ, guys, thank you so much for joining the Skeptic Mafia. Y'all are awesome. We post on Tuesdays. I'm going to keep repeating that because really that's the big draw there. And you can comment on these videos. Be safe out there. Oh, wait, hold on. Did I... Team up with the cool... Yeah, you know, that thing in which you don't know who made it? Yeah. Be safe out there. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wash your damn hands. Make sure you are socializing in places like these comments, Discord, Facebook, etc., and not unnecessarily out in public places. If we all do our little part, we will make sure that those that are at risk and need protection are safe. These people could be your grandparents or even your parents. We're all in this together. Love you guys. P.S. Star Wars is better than Star Trek. Period. Yeah, us too. But both of us can be seriously affected by the coronavirus. So we really appreciate everybody doing all their parts. We're doing our part by separating ourselves from civilization. Not completely. We're still living in the city, but you know. And now Chrismer. Oh, a question no atheist ever heard. This is bound to be rich. nice face there. Oh shit. What happened? Hold on. I hit read more and I shouldn't have. Yep, called it, Watchmaker. The Ruined Warrior. By the time I was 6 years old, I knew that anything complicated had to be created by a life form. A car, a house, the internet, even a pile of shit on the ground. But not once did I ever assume that the earth had or ever needed a creator. I had to be told that by my Catholic grandparents. They taught me about God for about half an hour until they gave up because I asked too many questions. That is a fucking good way to go about it. That's a lot better than I did because I just bought hook, line, and sinker into the whole Catholic message because I was put into a Catholic private school. And so basically, I mean, as soon as, I was born, it was like, God exists. And so I just was like, okay, God exists. I don't really give a fuck. Why don't you just let me go play, goddammit? Michael W. Roble. There's 10 minutes of perfectly good internet wasted. If Cornelius were as smart as he smugly thinks he is, he would realize that just like the internet, his God is the product of human minds, and we have the evidence. The best evidence for the human origins is that oranges. Trump's got me confused. He does that to everybody. Of the Abrahamic religions is the Bible, with its multitude of authors and vast number of contradictions, all indicating man's self-serving involvement. All holy books are full of parables, vague statements, and contradictions that allow the powers to be to get away with murder and any other behavior they want. The king would just tell his priests to find the appropriate loophole in the holy book. The God of the gaps was also the God of community control. All right, Drew's book reviews. Evidence for creation? Of course you need evidence. The fact that we are here is evidence of creation. Does that mean God did it? No, it does not. This is just God of the gaps. Internet invention. This is a false dichotomy. This argument of his is not a new argument. It's the watchmaker fallacy. How the hell does he think this is a new argument? I have heard this same argument with cars, planes, satellites, etc. Disappointing, man. I thought he was going to bring a new argument. No wonder you can't trust theists. They make all kinds of promises and claims they can't fulfill. I agree. And that's what caught me off guard with this, because, you know, when I put it in the poll, which if you guys don't know, for the Skeptic Mafia, you get to pick Friday night stream too. I put up 3 choices, you get to pick. So when I put up this particular one as a choice, I was really just mimicking the title of it and not like trying to actually describe the video, because yeah, I figured if I just put another dumbass watchmaker argument, the people weren't going to pick it. But if I put the title, it's like, oh, a new argument. Oh, shit. Cadence, watchmaker argument, internet edition, extended cut. That repeats constantly. It's a broken fucking record, isn't it, there, Cadence? Gary White. Okay, he is so wrong on so many levels. Why do we need to know who created the internet? Inquiring minds want to know about that. But most of us really don't need to know who created the internet. And another idiot in a car, will they ever learn that doing a video in a car isn't going to lead to nowhere nice? Try, though, do more research, and then when you're ready to challenge an atheist, come to them instead of posting a video. Good point, Gary. We got Jane Pusecker. Hello, Mafia family. Hope everyone is trying to stay healthy and safe during this crazy time in our country. Thank you, Jane. I first want to start out by saying this guy totally misses the boat on why atheists feel they should have evidence to prove God exists. It's not so much they have to or need to prove God exists. They want to prove God exists because this is a very important question, because spiritual beliefs and religious beliefs have been around since the time of early man in some way or another. If God actually does exist, this is me talking, if God actually does exist, I do want evidence that he does exist, because then I have a more accurate picture of reality if God does actually exist. So I would agree that we do want good evidence that God exists in order for us to believe in them, or him, or her, or whatever gender they identify as. They. We as humans have a natural need to want to know we are not alone in this world and there is something greater than us, which is how religions and spiritual beliefs formed in the first place. It was created as a way to try and answer big questions. The internet is not the demon like you imply. It is all it's done is provide access with information that we didn't have before. We can gain access to books, articles, etc. to help guide in answering that question. When we start looking for answers and researching, people arrive at different conclusions. Some people go the agnostic atheist direction. Some choose a pantheist, deist, polytheist, monotheist, and panentheist direction. Researching and evidence helps us understand things better and helps us come to our own conclusions, even if it doesn't fully answer the question if there is a God. Very astute there, Jane. I appreciate your comment. Jonathan Hanachek, one dummy at GE and General Schilling. Here, please. Okay, so let me see. What else have I told you guys? Oh, did you know that there's a discount in the Teespring store for all of these cool shirts that you see me wear all the time? I believe the Mafia discount is like 15% off. And I believe that's in the Discord that I've got that put there. But if you're part of the Mafia, if you're part of the Skeptic Mafia and you want that code, you just got to let me know and I will get it to you. Sean J. Had to start the video over a couple of times. Really? I mean, if you listen to it for the first 5 minutes and then you get a repeat of the argument every 5 minutes after that, or well, 2-3 minutes. His first evidence is, wait for it, the internet. I'm 41. The first time I knew the internet was a product of a mind because I was using a computer to access another computer. Even if I had known nothing about computers before accessing the internet for the first time, I would still have been using a computer, something known to have been created. This is one this is about one of the stupidest arguments I've heard. Even if we didn't have any evidence that a computer was something created, we would know that it was not something of the natural world due to our prior experiences. Exactly what I said, Sean. Thank you. Running around outside, experiencing the sun, grass, trees, forest, rocks, dirt, and more is distinguishable from things that are created by humans. Clothing, houses, silverware, dishes, electronics, and more are easily identifiable as not coming about through the natural world. His entire argument is nothing more than a dressed up, slightly fancy watchmaker fallacy. All of our combined experiences tell us the watch/internet had a creator. And then Michelle Foster. Didn't get very far before I was annoyed. All of those fucking notifications, holy shit. The aliens were coming for him. They were beaming down on him. Woo, woo, beep, beep, boop. Type shit. I don't know. And it was just the watchmaker argument, but with the interwebs. Fuck's sake. Anywho, what better way to practice some social distancing than by joining the Skeptic Mafia? You'll still be part of a social group, but we don't have to touch each other. Unless you want to, and your arms are that long. We have hangouts, fun emojis, the whale penis. We can vote on videos and be compelled to start drinking early because we get to watch these videos early. Is that why I saw you talking about getting, drinking or on your second cup of wine or something like that in the chat prior to going live? So wash your hands, join the Skeptic Mafia, and don't touch your face. Or me. Don't touch me, except for KC, who winks with both eyes. Did you hear that, Casey? No. Michelle winked at you with both eyes because she wants you to touch you. She wants you to touch her.
Oh.
She appreciates that, Michelle. Yeah. Gary White says, I hope GE read my comment. Yeah, I did, Gary. It was awesome. Thank you so much. Michelle Foster, here's a super chat for the you-know-what. Since I've missed the last few weeks of streams and was on the phone for pretty much all of this one. Thank you, Michelle. So that's the end of the stream tonight. Let me get back over to the main camera. All right, so that's going to be it for tonight. I do have a moment to answer any questions that you might have. I got to make it kind of quick though, because I don't have a lot of time. We've been going for just over an hour. So if you got any questions, please let me know. Just to let you guys know, next week we have a few things coming up. For one thing, we've got Monday's video, which is a vaccine anti-vax video that I was talking about earlier. I'm not going to let you know who it is, but he's a dipshit. And we got that, and then Wednesday we're kind of going a little bit into 2019, and we're doing a particular kind of video that I haven't done in a while, and I hope that you guys like it. But we got that. Next week I'm also talking with that Help Me Believe guy. He is going to be I guess trying to get me to believe in his Jesus, or talking to me about how I don't believe in Jesus or something. But anyways, all right. So, Uhan Roderick says, "Will you be playing Fallout 76 Wastelanders?" Ooh, I don't know. I still have my copy of Fallout 76, so maybe, I don't know. It kind of looks interesting. I've went back and started another campaign in Fallout 4 because I haven't finished my original campaign play of it. But Dragon Master, stay healthy, stay safe. Thank you so much. We definitely will. We're not going to touch another person. Chrismer, just saying, Star Wars is not better than Star Trek, and Star Trek is not better than Star Wars. They're equally good, but Star Trek is actually better. Damn.
Accurate.
I like Cadence. Hashtag Stargate. Stargate is better than fucking both, okay? That's all I gotta say.
Honey, you are on drugs.
Apparently I'm on drugs. Michelle Foster. Well, Mama Atheist said Star Wars is better. And then Michelle Foster goes, I've got a guy whose whale dick I've been trying to tickle, but he keeps playing hard to get. Also COVID. Damn. Trek Wars from Ventably. Jane Pusecker, Godless Engineer, are the businesses closed in your state or are there still people going to work? Huh?
Depends.
Yeah, it depends. I know I'm teleworking right now, and there are a good number of people that are teleworking, but I think for the most part, most places are still open, with the exception of a few. So yeah, it really depends. Uhan, Star Wars is better than Star Trek. Deal with it. Oh, Mama Atheist, yes, says that GE will be on my show tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. Come join. So, yes, I will be on Mama Atheist's show. Keep a watch on the community tab, on the stories here on YouTube, on Twitter. Just stay aware of me in all of the places because, of course, I'm the most important thing on this fucking platform, by the way.
Oh my god. You need to turn the camera off.
Do I?
Yes.
Jonathan Hatchek's at work right now.
Let's go home.
Go home.
Tell your boss I said you could go home.
Yep, that should be enough. Tell your boss that Casey said go the fuck home. He'll know exactly who that
And
is.
send everybody else home too.
And send everybody else home too. Cernian, I love SG-1, but I also love all of the spin-offs of Stargate. I love Stargate Atlantis, Stargate Universe. I love all of them. I wish that they would have kept going with Stargate Universe, but alas, they fucking canceled it because god damn it, they always do. I am a nerd. But anyways, I gotta head on out of here, guys. It was awesome seeing everybody today. Tune in next week when we have a full load of content for you guys to watch while you're in quarantine. I know you fucks aren't going out anywhere, so you best be watching my shit, helping me get that watch time up. Really, I mean, if you can, that would be awesome. But if not, I understand. A full load. Full, like, blasting. Like one of those. Anyways, I'll see you heathens later. Don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens.